Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it hanging and what's happened? You know who it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, brought to you by My Song Day Rock 2000 to today. Happy Tuesday to you all once again. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, and well, guys, I'm going through a quarter life crisis right now. Yesterday, I turned 25 years old, so I'm about one quarter of the way through the gas tank right now, according to, whatever the hell they're saying. I'm going to live to 100 probably, so only a quarter of the way through this shit, and still going strong as all hell. So, quarter life crisis, I mean, I ain't really going through any kind of quarter life crisis. I mean, I'm still enjoying the music, still enjoying my time, doing all the fun stuff, still doing all the crazy stuff as much as possible, just because why not? I mean, over the weekend, I ended up going to a freaking bar in Madison, Wisconsin, and watching the Minnesota-Wisconsin college football game, and I was like one of the two Gopher fans in there, and I had a great time, despite the fact that the Gophers got blown the fuck out. Oh, dear God, was that bad. But, I mean, at 25 years old, nothing really feels different. I mean, it's not going to really feel any different all of a sudden when you hit that 30 mark, but then again, I'll go out to the bars and I'll probably be thinking, like, everyone just looks really, what's the proper word? Really young. So, oh, God, that's going to be really weird. But, whatever. 25 years old, still going strong, still doing all the crazy mosh pit stuff, still going to all these crazy concerts, still planning on doing everything I possibly can, because I know by the time I get to 35, 40, going to, like, a concert, like, as much as possible, going to the mosh pit, it might not appeal to me as much. Might have a wife, might have kids, I've a family, gotta go on those family vacations, but you know what? Whatever, man. Whatever. Before I continue that rant, I mean, I'm gonna have to go through the shameless plugs. Of course, don't have any advertising right now. We're still working on some of that stuff. Again, thank you, Andrew Schuler, for helping us out with that. But, guys, just follow us on all our social media stuff. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We got the Amazon Alexa skill. I hope that didn't wake her up. But pretty much any kind of Song of the Day content you want there, you're going to have it there. So it's going to be, any Song of the Day feature. We ask you the questions about anything, connecting with us, the Instagram live streams, the IGTV videos, the podcast. You're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and on YouTube. You can actually watch the podcast, much like what we've done, with when we did the Jonathan Norris Kingdom Collapse interview. I'm hoping to get one before the end of the year because I've got something interesting. I know I'm working with Ascent from Ashes on theirs as well because, or for a podcast once they get their new music done. But of course, new music takes precedent. But you can watch all that stuff on YouTube as well. YouTube videos coming out, and I got some other stuff for you. But man, quarter life crisis. What the hell? I mean, taking a look back at my life right now, it's like, 25 years old, what have I done? But then again, it's like, well, I grew up. I found something that I really like to do in life, and that's talk about music and create a great community around people that love rock music from the new millennium, or metal as well. I mean, a little bit more less metal, but more rock. But again, we're kind of really blurring the lines between rock and metal because I'm playing all that crap. I mean, we just did a whole bunch of metalcore stuff because I'm getting into metalcore. I love this. I've been getting into it the whole entire year. Why do you think I'm listening a lot to like Motionless in White and Ice Nine Kills and As I Lay Dying and Kill Switch Engage? Like, I wasn't going to do this back at the end of 2018, but end of 2019, oh there. Yeah, take a look at what we got going. My God, I keep listening to that stuff. But then again, it's like also, I mean, I went through college. I went through it 3.5 years with a degree in economics. Had a first job that I loathed, absolutely loathed. It took me about 2.5 years to get to some place that I like now. So I'm like, okay, you got always this different stepping stones. And one thing I always told myself was by the time I turned 25 years old, I wanted to be self-sufficient. And by self-sufficient, I mean that what I'm doing for myself, I'm not employed by I'm making enough money on my own and not being, going to like a job, like being under an employee or anything. I wanted to have my own business where I'm making money for myself, by myself, on myself, so that I could be self-sufficient and still live a lifestyle I wanted and still do all this stuff, 24/7. But as I have hit 25, yeah, that did not happen. However, had I not set that goal for myself, who knows? I might still be at that crappy job. Might be the most miserable piece of crap ever. Hell, I might not even be here right now, especially after what I went through. Actually, I'm not gonna say what I went through, but what happened to me and what ended up being stuff that I put myself through end of 2017 or second half of 2017 and early 2018. But I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm just glad to be here. So, not really a quarter life crisis, but more like a little reflection on the fact that I haven't hit where I wanted to hit, but just patience, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, guys. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. One thing we had happen to us over the course of the from the last podcast, this podcast was we have new music coming out. Yeah, we had new music from none other than Black Veil Brides, which of course I know people are like, oh my god, Kevin, you're talking about Black Veil Brides? I hate that band. They're stupid. Or I get people like, oh my god, Andy Biersack is my hero. There's actually a girl that I work with. She was like, I was in love with Andy Biersack when I was in high school. She just graduated high school too, or at the end of this, in June or July, or May or June. And she's been at the company that I'm at longer than I have been. I mean, well, again, I started in September. She started back in end of June. So she had a job literally straight away. I mean, you got to give her a lot of freaking credit for that. But we had new music from Black Veil Brides on Thanksgiving. So I think they released the stuff that you could actually download and stream on Friday, but the music videos were out Thursday. And it's a 2-song little single EP kind of thing, and those 2 songs are called Saints of the Blood and The Vengeance. Now, of course, when I woke up on Thursday morning and saw this, I thought, wait, what's going on here? Because I saw them oh, Black Veil Brides, I know everything that was going on with their former bassist Ashley Purdy, and kind of what the fact that he was gonna be no longer in the band. So I'm like, oh, they dropped new music, a new song. I looked at it on YouTube. I thought, what the heck's going on here? And then I saw that it was a couple hours old when I woke up on Thanksgiving morning at 6:30. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta look at this stuff. So I listened to the 2 songs, Saints of the Blood and The Vengeance, right before I went over by my parents' house for Thanksgiving. I went over there early. So then I let them marinate for a little bit. Then I thought, okay, Friday, I had a lot of stuff I had to get done, so I really wasn't listening to that stuff. Saturday, spending time with my dad, so we were, hanging out at a bar, watched some football, and on the drive home, we played Rush, Van Halen, and ZZ Top the whole way home. So I didn't have a chance to really listen to them and let them, get fully marinate and get my thoughts on them. I want to say fully marinate, but get my full thoughts on them before anything really happened. Now I thought, you know what? Let's go take a look at them. Let's listen to them. Let's see what we can pick out from them. And this is the Chord Progression Podcast. We got new music, so of course we're going to end up talking about Black Veil Brides and their new songs. So I'm actually going to start out with the second song first. I'm going to start out with The Vengeance. Now, the reason I'm starting out with this one is because I really want to talk about Saints of the Blood in much more detail, and I want to save that for the second one because I've got a little bit of a thing to talk about with it. So, The Vengeance, I've listened to it listened to it first, and the first thing I thought was, okay. I just thought, you know what, this isn't something that I was blown away by, but it wasn't something I was disappointed in. I just thought that this was run of the mill. I mean, dead average. That's what I thought about it right after. And I listened to it a couple more times right before they did the podcast, getting my full on take on, writing down notes, doing all that kind of stuff. And I really stuck with, this is average. Now let me explain. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying this is just dead center for them. This is dead center for Andy Biersack and Black Veil Brides. Now, musically, it was their mix between, that glam rock, glam metal back from the 80s. Got all the hair. You got the Motley Crue style, Van Halen style. I'm trying to think of some other those. Poison, there's another one. Rat, Quiet Riot, just all bands like that. I mean, well, Andy's got an alter ego, Andy Six, and it's Nikki Six. I mean, you can easily tell that's a correlation. I mean, heck, the names are the same. And Kiss, you can throw Kiss in there as well. Kind of, you can see where the makeup style comes in for Andy Biersack and Black Veil Brides. So let's keep going. Musically, it just had that standard mix that Black Veil Brides has between hard rock of today and that glam rock and glam metal from the 80s. And I listened to it, and trust me, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad thing. But what I really think about it is I'm like, is this, just run of the mill? Is this like the most standard thing possible? It wasn't anything bad, but it didn't have any unique quality to it outside of this was just standard Black Veil Brides. The pace is a little bit faster in the verses from the band, and it slows it up a little bit more in the chorus, just in between two. Not much of a variation, though, but I think that slows it up in the chorus to give it a little bit more of a melodic and themic feel that really lets Andy's vocals in the chorus really kind of pop and really make it something. So I thought, you know what? Okay, that's the Vengeance. Now I'll take a look at, Andy's vocals. And the reason is because nothing really stood out about the instrumentation. So, okay, Andy's vocals got to do something here. And Andy's vocals did exactly what the instrumentation did. It wasn't that it was outstanding or stellar. I mean, I'm not talking like, this isn't like, Rebel Love Song here. This isn't what I think is a great song, My Vow or Coffin. This isn't one of those kind of songs. But it's not something that you're going to just, want to just throw away. This is something like, he's just out there. And he's gone very conservative with his vocals on The Vengeance. And what I mean by that is he doesn't explore the range that I know he is capable of. He keeps it at that, just if you're going to listen to Andy Biersack sing and you're going to just pick out a certain sound from him of his vocals, The Vengeance, he just goes the whole entire way with that sound. And the range, he doesn't really change acts. He doesn't really change, the kind of style that he does. He just kind of just hits a line and he stays at that line and just goes forward for it. And I thought, you know what? You kind of had a little bit of a lower octave than your previous song with Saints of the Blood, which I'll get to about the whole entire thing about that. But you just played this one very conservatively. And I think in the end it's going to come back to bite him a little bit just because it was such a run-of-the-mill type song. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying, like, if you had to put Black Veil Bride songs, like, bad versus good, and you're looking for that dead average one, like, okay, can it beat this one? The Vengeance is the one. The Vengeance one is, like, does it beat The Vengeance? If it's yes, it's in the top half. If it doesn't, it's in the bottom half of the Black Veil Bride's catalog. Now, again, I'm not saying it's a bad song. Some of you might like the song. I just thought it was very conservative, the way they played it, and it just really is something where it's like, you hear, you're going to say, oh, it's Black Veil Brides. Oh, it's nothing really that they've experimented with or tried something new or really kind of toyed with. It was, if you really just like that consistent sound that they can bring, this is the song for you. Me, I just thought this song was average at best. However, Saints from the Blood is the song that I really want to talk about because it is definitely not the run-of-the-mill Black Veil Bride song. And I'm not saying, they completely went off the deep end and experimented on something. Like, it's not like Mother Tongue by Bring Me the Horizon in any sense of the word. I mean, this song, the intro to the song, it brings in a guitar. And it has just the sound of an absolute beauty. It literally sounds like they took their initial album, like they took like that initial sound, from We Stitch These Wounds, especially from Knives and Pens, and they just threw it in there. But instead of, making it sound like Knives and Pens, make it sound like We Stitch These Wounds or anything like that, they took that sound, but they matured it 10 years because, of course, the album came out in 2009. These songs are coming out right at the end of 2019. So it's like, okay. So you're going back to the roots on this one when it comes to the style of the guitar and the instrumentation, especially in the intro, but you're maturing it by a couple of years. And then the intro guitar just ends up going rapid towards it. And it reminds me a lot of early Avenged Sevenfold, like anything off of the City of Evil album. I think that's City of Evil album. If I got that one wrong, I know there's going to be someone that's just like, oh my God, Kevin, how could you get that wrong? And I'm trying to make sure I can find it, but I've got, multiple screens going on right now, and it's just going to be like, oh God, I got to find where the heck my cursor is. And I'm starting to sound like one of those old guys. Yeah, it is the City of Evil album. Come on, Kevin, get your head in the frickin' game. So the rapid guitar that they had, especially towards the end of the intro, I thought this is very reminiscent of something that Avenged Sevenfold would have done off of that album. So I thought, you know what? Now they're experimenting a little bit more on this one. What I really thought was they took that glam metal mix and that glam rock mix. So again, the very pertinent like Motley Crue, Kiss, Van Halen, that kind of a glam rock style that Black Veil Brides is well known for. And they mixed it with metalcore. Now take this from my perspective. Especially over the course of 2019, I've been talking about metalcore a lot, especially as the year has gone on, because I've really gotten into the genre, and I mentioned it earlier in the podcast when talking about the metalcore bands I listen to, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, As I Lay Dying, Kill Switch. I've been really getting into it, but now you're also mixing it with glam rock and glam metal from the 80s, and that's what my dad would listen to when he was growing up and when he was an adult, so that's what his favorite kind of music is. So of course, when I'm growing up, that's the kind of music we listen to, and I really did enjoy it. So when you're mixing two things that I really like together, I'm like, okay, let's see if this is good. Let's see if this is bad. But my God, did Andy Biersack and the guys do an incredible job mixing glam rock and metalcore. It fits so well together with the pace and the drumming that is much more metalcore in style. But then you basically get the guitars and the bass, and you kind of mix them in there, and they kind of really go a little bit more glam rock on there. But my God, it just works out so well to create a sound. You're like, wait a minute, this is something that really kind of sticks with you from the get-go, because the intro guitar, it has a little bit more of like a interesting sound to it, and you're like, oh, this is going to come into something. Then you get that glam metal, glam rock, metalcore mix. Holy moly, does that do just something insane. Now you get to the bridge of the song, because the verses are, a little bit more, glam rocky and sort of the chorus a little bit, but then you kind of get some of those differences in there where you get to the intro, the bridge, when you get to the guitar solo, and everything sounds much more metalcore because the bridge has a real glam rock feel to it, which you're like, okay. But then Andy comes in with these unclean vocals, and that's the trigger that switches it from more glam rock to more metalcore, and the guitar solo really fits in with it. And I thought, these guys are doing something rather interesting here, and I am a fan of it. And the reason I'm a huge fan of it is because, again, you're mixing metalcore and glam rock. I love this. I mean, it's definitely not something like the Set the World on Fire album where they went insanely glam rock and glam metal on it. But it's not something like Veil, where they, it sounds like My Vow, where it's had more like that hard rock, a little bit more metal sound to it. Or go back to their We Stitch These Wounds album, and you're going much more consistent with metalcore. It's much different than that, but my God, did I actually really enjoy this. Then I had to go and focus on Andy's vocals as well, because of course, as everyone knows, Andy Biersack has this insanely unique voice that, again, I don't think he's in the upper echelon of, the most unique voice of all time. He's not Freddie Mercury. He's not David Draymond. He's not Chester Bennington. But my God, is he in that like M Shadows kind of realm where it's like you listen to it and you know exactly who it is. But it's not something where it's, something where it's just like the world knows exactly what it is. So going to Andy's vocals, when the vocals started, his voice sounded like it went up a little bit of an octave. And I mentioned that in the Vengeance, where you had the Vengeance where it was just consistently, the normal sounding Andy Biersack sound. But this one, he kind of upped it up by an octave just a little bit, which was, again, on this one, the proper move, because it gave it a little bit more of an experimental style range to it, which really showed that Andy Biersack has this insane amount of range that he can work with. But you still have, that same Andy Biersack style vocals throughout the whole entire thing. And there are times where he does bring in those unclean vocals, like I mentioned at the end of the bridge. And it just sounds fantastic. I mean, this is where the vocal performance of Andy Biersack really shines, on Saints of the Blood. I loved every moment of the song. So, again, people are going to bash Andy Biersack. People are going to bash Black Veil Brides for everything about these two songs, because there's a lot of people out there that really don't care for Black Veil Brides at all, and I think it's a lot of it. And if you look at the Punk Rock MBA's video on, bands people love to hate, Volume 2, I believe Black Veil Brides is in there, and Finn really just goes out and lays it all on the line, why people dislike Black Veil Brides. I even made a video about why people dislike Black Veil Brides, so you can watch that as well on our YouTube channel. But I gotta give them credit for this one. I really liked Saints of the Blood, because I thought they really took this more of an experimental approach. Like they took their initial album, like Knives, like the Knives and Pen song, and they just matured it, and it just had a little more experimentation to it, but they kept that glam rock bass, and they mix it with metalcore. Overall, between the two songs, Saints of the Blood is the song you want to listen to. I can easily see myself listening to Saints of the Blood over and over and over again, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit later because I brought up last week where I was talking about Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse and how it just destroyed my mind, basically, where I was like, I was not expecting something like this, especially this late in the year. Saints of the Blood did not, go make me freak out as insanely as much as Popular Monster did. But when I first heard it, like, I was stuck on that intro because I couldn't figure out where it came from. But it was so good. And that was focusing on Andy's vocals. I'm like, this sounds like a little bit more higher, and just had more range to it. I thought, this is very well done. So out of the two, The Vengeance, it's run of the mill. It's very run of the mill. Saints of the Blood, though, bing, bing, bing. Huge upvote for that. So I have to give a lot of credit to Andy Biersack and the guys for that one. I cannot wait to see them in April here in Milwaukee because I got my ticket already. Now, of course, going on the Black Veil Brides train, we had Ashley leave the band. What was it? Ashley Purdy. Yes, I said Ashley's Purdy. So they're trying to find a new, member for the band. You're trying to find someone that's really going to bring it in there. And after with the band, the group ended up finding a replacement rather quickly. And the guy's name is Lonnie Eagleton. Now, why does Eagleton make a lot of sense for the band, and why was it, a very quick turnaround? Well, Lonnie Eagleton has been playing bass for the alter ego of Andy Biersack, his solo act, Andy Black. So he's been playing bassist with Andy for at least a couple of years now on some different projects. But now, instead of being on one project, he's going to be on both. And do I think that's a bad move by Andy Biersack and the guys? Absolutely not, because you're going to get a guy who already understands the creative process and drive behind your frontman. And it's going to be a much easier transition when it comes musically, when it comes to understanding everything. Will the guys get along with Lonnie? I hope so. Again, time will end up telling that, but overall, I think that it's a great move. In a tweet, Eagleton revealed he was the whole entire thing. He said, "Thrilled to announce I'm joining Black Veil Brides as their new full-time bassist. Having been a long-time dedicated fan of the band, I cannot be more grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this new era. Before I had any affiliation with the members, I used to fantasize about playing in the band, playing the music, wearing the makeup and stage outfits. So for that to now become reality is completely surreal. It was only a couple of years ago that I was standing in the audience at their concert, singing along, trying to catch guitar picks. To now see myself in the videos and hear myself on the recordings is a feeling I can't even begin to explain. I look forward to the new beginning as the newest member of Black Veil Brides." So that is kind of like a rags to riches story for anybody that plays music and loves music, because you're going to concerts, you're absolutely loving your time there, and you're just wanting to be a part of it, and you're just loving it, and to become a part of your favorite, one of your favorite bands, where you're sitting literally in the crowd just jamming out, trying to catch guitar picks. I mean, or jamming the mosh pit like me. I sometimes will even think about too, like, well, what would be like if I was in this band, or what would be like if I was in this band, We all have those moments, and I'm just like that. So to see someone's moment like that come true is truly amazing. So, Lonnie, I got to tell you this right now. I got to give you a lot of props for, stepping in, and I think you're going to do a fantastic job. So, cheers to you, and let's hope that this continues on. So taking a look at what else we had, the 2-song EP expected to roll out instead of continuing on their traditional album format. Oh, wow. Let me see. Listen to Stepping Right with the band issuing first what they call a series of duologies. So, this is interesting. So it looks like Black Veil Brides are releasing 2-song EPs that they expect to roll out instead of continuing with a traditional album format. The Night EP, released by the new label Sumerian Records, features the song Saints of Blood and The Vengeance. So both have new videos. He said, according to Biersack, let's take a look at this. He said, with the feeling of nostalgia on this one, going back into the time when we were doing the record of We Stitch These Wounds, the idea was to add 2 songs that felt very much like that very much like the band that we were in the past and maybe stayed away from and returned to that form. Now, again, I mentioned it. Saints of the Blood hit on it. I don't think the Vengeance did, but Saints of the Blood really hit on it, and I really did enjoy it overall. So I'm looking forward to seeing stuff, and I'm actually looking forward to see what Black Veil Brides does with this, duology or take overall, because I think it's a very interesting idea. I really like the idea because it's different. And, anytime someone does something different, you're going to get people like, oh my God, they think they're better than everybody. If it's Black Veil Brides, they're going to be better than everybody. But you know what? I actually really like the move. It's different, and you're gonna keep getting new songs over and over. We might get 2 songs that are like stuff off of We Stitch These Wounds. Then we get maybe 2 songs that are just like stuff that you'd find off of, or 3 songs off of Set the World on Fire. Then from their self-title album, might get 2 or 3. We might get 2 or 3 of stuff off of Veil, and then we might get stuff where they're going and trying to be more experimental. We might get just like a compilation of stuff of them trying their old styles and trying something new as well. So you can see how the band progresses over the course of 10 years. I actually really like that idea. I'm really excited to see what Black Veil Brides does in 2020. Now, am I going to use this as what would I do with this for an album? When I consider this like an album of the year thing, if they're going to do this duology stuff, I would put all these songs together, but it'd be, when does the majority of them come out? Because this is a little bit interesting. So if I'm going to do something like, consider this for an album of the year type thing, best album, worst album, most surprising, most disappointing, where would it go? Would it go 2019 or 2020? Well, I'd say 2020 at this point, because if this is the only one they're going to release for 2019, but then 2020 rolls around and they have like 5 more of these, so we had a total of 12 songs, but the majority of them are released in 2020. Oh yeah, this will be a 2020 thing. So enough with Black Veil Brides. Go listen to Saints of the Blood. I really do like that song. Over the weekend, though, we also had to say farewell to one of the greats. No one died. Slayer played their final song, their final show in LA on November 30th at the Forum in Los Angeles. So this whole entire thing of them, on their last tour, last show, everything, apparently they're done. I'm lucky enough I got to go see them at Riot Fest in Chicago, but now everything is done. And of course they ended the song with Angel of Death. Final set list consists of 20 Slayer songs, and aside from some movement of tracks, it didn't stray much from the songs they've been performing as of late. So the set list, I'm going to read you the set list. We had South of Heaven, Repentless, Postmortem, World Painted Blood, Hate Worldwide, War Assemble, Stain of Mind, my bad, Disciple, When the Stillness Comes, Born of Fire, Payback, Seasons in the Abyss, Jesus Saves, Chemical Warfare, Hell Awaits, Dead Skin Mask, Show No Mercy, Raining Blood, Mandatory Suicide, and Angel of Death at the end. And that is it for one of the Pioneers of Metal. So for the Pioneers of Metal, the 1 out of the 4 is now done. Or what Metal is today. 1 of the 4 is now done, or the Big 4, I should say. Not the Pioneers. Big 4 of Metal. 1 of the 4 is done with Slayer. Metallica is still out there touring. Anthrax is still out there. And Megadeth, while they're on break right now, they're still active. But if this is the end of I already messed it up. If this is the end of Slayer, they went out with a bang. Well, they probably went out on fire too, because there's fire everywhere. So congratulations to Slayer on one hell of a career. You deserve all the rest in the world. And if you guys ever come back and want to do one more show or a couple more shows, up to you guys. Do it. I mean, there's a lot of times bands will come back after a while. I mean, take a look at Motley Crue. They're coming back after their ceasing of touring. They signed an agreement and they blew it up. And now they're going to be back on the road in 2020 with Poison and Def Leppard. I mean, would you guys go to that show? Because I would only go to that show if I was going with my dad. But I probably wouldn't, just because those tickets are going to be expensive as shit. And you know me, I like to be on the floor. Alrighty, well, as we approach the end of the year as well, we've got the interesting thing of the end of the year awards. So, what are we going to do at the end of the year awards? Next, over the course of the week, so I believe, let's see, when do I want to do this? Yeah. So, on Saturday, December 7th, so this is when it's going to happen, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, I will reveal the listing and the nominees that we have for our 6 categories. And our 6 categories are best song. So I'm going to take and list 10 songs that I think are the best songs from the year. And I'm going to put them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Same thing with the 5 worst songs of the year. So I'm going to take the 5 songs I think are horrible, and I'm going to put them out there, and I'm going to let you guys look at them as well. Best albums. So these are the 10 albums I liked the most out of the year, and you're going to get to see them, and you're going to get to comment on them. Worst album of the year. Again, 5 albums of the year that I thought were the absolute worst albums of the year, and again, comment on them. Then we got 2 more. You're going to get the 5 what I call the most surprising albums of the year, or EPs, I should say. The reason, and where that comes in is these are albums or EPs that came out and we didn't know about, or like kind of like surprise. You know, it's like all of a sudden there was no press room. All of a sudden, oh, hey, we're going to release this out of nowhere. Or you get some like major comebacks. You get some like, oh, this band, you know, completely changed up their style and it was for the good. Or just like, you know, maybe a small band come out that like a debut EP or like an EP that you never really heard of, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. Then we also have 5 most disappointing albums of the year. These are the ones that had a lot of fanfare going into them and fell flat, or the ones where the band completely changed their sound and that completely went sideways. I'll put it all up there, and this is what we're going to do with that, because last year I told everyone, like, hey, I want to see what your opinions are. Well, and this year I'm going to end up doing something with the awards. So instead of putting them all in one YouTube video, I'm going to make 6. And I'm just going to differentiate between each video. So we're going to, you know, do a countdown style thing. I'm going to go, like, if it's a 10, like 10 bet a song, I'm going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a break in here. And this is where you guys come in. This is where the fans come in. So what I'm going to end up doing is on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook, I'm going to post these. And I'm going to ask you to either DM us or put in the comments what you think your top 10 would be of like the best songs or best albums. What your top 5 would be for worst albums, worst songs, most surprised, most disappointing. Or if you want to put like any number of them. So basically what I'm going to say is I'm going to ask you guys to vote. But I'm going to do like, you know, okay, after, you know, number 2, before we get to number 1, this is what the fans of my song of the day thought. So we're going to get you guys to have a collective, and I'm going to put your list together as a collective. So I'm not going to feature your individual lists. So say we have 20 or 30 people that say, I'm trying to think a song that I'd say use as the best song. Let's say we have 20 or 30 people say, hey, Kevin, for best song of the year, it's definitely going to be The Signal Fire by Killswitch Engage. And what if I don't think that one's the top one? Well, it'll show up on the list. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is what the fans thought. And if I had the most votes for, you know, The Signal Fire is the best song of the year, boom, it's going to be number 1 on there. And it's going to be the My Song of the Day fans and followers that really put that together. Again, I'm going to be the one that'll compile everything, make it all work and look nice, but it's going to be up to you guys to really put that out there. And I already told you what the video schedule was going to be. It goes from Christmas to New Year, so of course I'll be hitting that at the end of the year. However, the videos are going to be fun because I'm going to add a lot of fun stuff to them. You know, if they got the music videos for them, I'll add the music videos for them. I'll add live video of the song if I have it, but I probably doubt it because I don't think I have any video of like the new stuff. So there is that. But I'm looking forward to this one, guys, because I want to see what you guys have to say. I want to see what everyone has to say, because we all listen to different music, okay? Well, we all listen to, you know, similar music, but when it comes down to what we've been listening to over the past year and the amount we've been listening to, it, of course, is going to differ. So, like the new Issues album, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of people that might really, really like it, and me, I'm like, Tool, too. There's probably like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I'm like, it was okay. Then you get people that are just like, oh my god, that Skillet album was just terrible. I'm like, well, I thought it was pretty good. Or you get people like, oh my god, SLA Dying's back. Like, do you not know what happened to their lead singer? I'm gonna be like, they put out a kick-ass album. Or it's like, people say, oh my god, I like the old Sleeping with Sirens sound better than the new one. I'm like, or the one on Gossip more than this one. I'm like, they went back to their old style. We wanted that. We wanted that. So, of course, you know, there's always going to be a lot of give and take between us, but I want to hear what your opinions are. Of course, I'm not going to be like, you know, your opinion's invalid. No, I'm not going to be like that. If you're going to tell me, you know, this song is the best song of the year, I'm going to ask you straight up, why? And whatever you put, because it's your opinion and it's your take on it, I'm be like, okay, interesting. Alrighty. So what do you think about this? I'm just going to start asking you guys questions about it. And it's not trying to get me to be like, oh my God, I'm trying to get your personal life or anything. No, what I want to do is I just want to understand where you're coming from. I want to understand what your point is. So say, you absolutely love the song Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse. And you're like, oh my God, it's the best song ever. And I ask you why. Just please, for the love of God, just be honest in the comments or honest in the DM. Just tell me why you like the song. And it's nothing where I'm going to be like, oh, you're wrong. I just want to know what you think of it. Because there's a lot of times, like, I think in the one I did with, I did Seether versus Shinedown on an Instagram post. I'm like, okay, you pick between the two. I had a lot of people, I had a lot of people split in between, and I like Shinedown more than Seether. However, for the people that asked, we like Shinedown, I said, well, why do you like Shinedown? I had one person say, because when I started listening to their music literally got me through the bad parts and literally saved my life. And I said, well, there's no argument. I said, there's no argument with that logic. Then they're clearly the superior one to you. And that's what I want to see. I want to know what the reasoning is. And then it had people say, Seether was the better one. And of course, my personal opinion is I think that Shinedown's the better band out of the two. But I want to see what they have to say, honestly. It's not something where it's like, oh, I'm mad at you for saying something. No, I just want to see what you have to say. So let's see if I can pull up some of these Shinedown, or the Seether reasons. And, Mark Tremonti on Twitter. Let's see what we got. So I need to find it. It looks like we got a lot of stuff. Oh, whoa. Okay. Found it. So I've gotten, let me see for Seether. Let me see if we can find one. Oh, I gotta like that one. God, where's the Seether one? Okay. So I had Seether 100%. I said, why, buddies? The reaction was, they're my favorite band of all time, and the guys have been incredibly nice to me personally, along with incredible musicians and songwriters. If they're your favorite band personally, I'm not going to be like, no, you're wrong. Like, no, if you're their favorite band personally, okay, I get it. It'd be like if I asked, like when I asked like Rise Against versus Against Me, of course, I want to know why people picked Against Me over Rise Against, because I don't see it that way, but I want to know why they see it that way. Of course, it's always going to be interesting. One of our best friends said Seether hands down. I asked why, and she said, I've always liked Seether. Their sound to me is way better than Shinedown. I've seen both, and both are great live, but again, I prefer Seether live too. I like Shinedown, but the sound Seether puts out is just preferable to me. I like the vocals much better. I'm like, that's the best way to say it. I got also like Shinedown without a doubt. I said, why without a doubt? I don't know, in my opinion, I just think they're more awesome than Seether. Also, they've got some really good songs. Okay, if you like some of their songs more than you like the sound more, well, who am I to freaking argue with that? Again, it's with those questions, I'm not trying to get you to change your guys' opinion. I'm trying to understand what you guys think. Because I love figuring this stuff out. I love seeing what you guys think. I love seeing what your mind is working with when it's like, okay, I like this song, I like this album, I like this band. Why? Please tell me why. Let's see what else we got. We got one that said couldn't choose one, and I said, well, now you can choose both because Anti-Flag, I had Anti-Flag and Pennywise, and they said, why can't we have both? And I said, yeah, you guys are right. So now I'm giving people both. I also see that I just asked why. So you can see there's always a difference in opinion. And that's when it comes to that year-end awards as well, because I just want to know what you guys think. We had a lot of new music this year. We had a lot of good music. We had some bad music too, but I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know what you're thinking of, and maybe I can see something that I missed, or maybe you really don't like a song that I absolutely like, and we can get a conversation about it. Again, it's not going to be persuasion thing. It's just an understanding conversation. That's what's going to happen. And yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Will Saints of the Blood actually make a top 10 though? I'm thinking on it right now. Right now I've got it outside, I got it pretty far outside, but as I listen to it more, I'm just like, this is really getting me into it. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really feeling it. But in the end right now, I believe we're getting close to the 40-minute mark. And I really don't have much outside of Black Veil Brides and different things with the year-end awards. So, am I getting old because I'm trying to end this really quickly? Is this the quarter-life crisis they talked about? Oh my god, this is not good. The quarter-life crisis is happening. But whatever. Don't worry about that, guys. Next week, we'll talk about the year-end awards as well. I will go through the whole entire list of what I think for all of them. And I'm also going to see if you guys have put anything out there, what you guys are saying. Plus, I'm hoping to get another band as, one of our special podcast interviews around Christmas time. So maybe that'll be the one we do for Christmas Eve, because I got a band I want to have on again, but video style. So look out for that. I'm going to email them right after I sign off on this. So take it easy, everybody. Enjoy December. Happy had a great Thanksgiving. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. Of course, you guys know how I end all my podcasts, all my videos, everything. See y'all.